afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, Master of Propaganda, here of Strike, Defender of the Fatherland. We're off here to 2 versus 2 on crossing in the Rhine, or on the Rhine, or whatever, something with the Rhine. 2 versus 2, alternate, a long one, so no mid-game analysis here. I've already said it, so people don't ask me about it afterwards in the comment. But rule of thumb is, if it's longer than 50 minutes, no mid-game analysis. It's about brevity in those cases, at least keeping things sort of there. But we got here in the with the Germans in the west, Ciperdias and Just1 fighting for Germany, Deutschland, the Wehrmacht and Oberkommand West together forming the Panzerdivision von Clausewitz. In the east we got here bbwolf fighting for America, freedom and liberty, the 2nd Armored Division supporting here the 6th Guards Armored Brigade under the command of Fatalthoughts. We got here ultimately mobile assault, tactical support, special weapons, tactical support, just the American version, heavy cavalry, rifle company, breakthrough, fortifications, special operations, elite troops, lightning war, and finally Jaeger armor. Quite a combo there of things, bulletins for infantry, tanks, a lot of anti-tank guns here, and a bit of machine gun there. Wehrmacht heading northwards, Oberkommand got southwards, so the Sturm Pioneers, Kugelwagens, Americans sort of going slightly broad but still southwards, and the British northwards. Single section there leading the way for king and country. And the meanwhile, of course, a few nations there leading the way for freedom, liberty. And there you go. Section opening up in the Pioneers, MD42 falls into nearby house, setting up. They're going to bump an MD42, except just has the range barely there. Vickers following up here for Fatalthoughts in the south here. VS has been caught here by heavy fire from the Kugelwagens and the Sturm Pioneers pushing them back here. They're not going to last. Flaming a few seconds here against the Germans. We got Raffen and Rahmen. We also got an early mortar there for bbwolf after having gotten 2 rifle squads, and there go Reasons almost cut down. German infantry continues to push up here. Section sneaking about here. In fact, falling slightly back, perhaps so we just draw out the MG and then shooting it to bits. Vickers following up here. Kuban continuing aggressive operations here in the south, actually separating itself from the infantry, leaving a bit vulnerable there. Need to be careful there, Mr. Ciperdias. Need to be careful. Mortar has arrived here for bbwolf. As for Just1, we just got Grenadiers and an MD42. Trout on the way there for Ciperdias. That's probably going to be like battle group headquarters here early on. Grenadiers for Pioneer support tanking against a section in light cover. Going to be some nasty losses here. We got MG sort of dueling here. Vickers overall. Looks like the MD48 gets some better hits there. Bit of a surprise, since the Vickers machine gun actually has better DPS, in particular mid to close range. The Vickers easily outdoes the MD42 for some reason. Grenadiers here versus section moving up there. Grenadiers here gunning them down. Overall local unit superiority here to Just1 in the south. Ciperdias has got the sort of upper hand. bbwolf not trying to support his teammate or trying to push downwards, so they're just grabbing territory here. Leaving Fatalthoughts into there, just sort of not suffering much. But there you go, we do have mortar support nonetheless here from bbwolf, heading the Grenadiers. Machine guns they continue to duel out. The MD42 still has a lead. Sappers moving up here in the south. Volkswagen's now flanking up behind bbwolf. They're catching his force there from an unexpected angle. Sturm Pioneers joining in as well. If you could see bbwolf being pushed away from there as well. We got more riflemen for bbwolf as well. Reasons they're opening up. Mortar needs to set up here pretty quickly. Sappers sending in the Grenadiers running here. And the fighting continues up north between the machine guns and the Vickers. Has lost out here to the MD42 in a bit of a situation I would not expect it to happen. Oh well, Sturm Pioneers versus riflemen with a lot of folks Grenadier support. Reasons push back there. And Kugelwagen setting out as well. Riflemen charging in there, exposing themselves to be out in the open here. Overall here, bbwolf needs to make better use of cover, otherwise he's going to have the advantage of the Germans, although the mortar... Oh! German mortar we got here, Just1 moving up, Ganaden effort to support. There's the Americans. Also, the Panzerdivision von Clausewitz was a very late sort of war division formed up around late 1944-45, can't quite remember at the moment. And which fought well around the Rhine, really, holding back the Allies there. Primarily in 2 armoured Kampfgruppen, actually made use of infrared equipment, I believe, on its tanks, but also its infantry. Though, of course, not to any massive degree, but still somewhat there. Morton players going up here for Fatalthoughts. Pretty aggressive position in there. Should help to control the 2 victory points there, which are actually surprisingly close to each other. Usually there's a bit more distance than that. Like to make a nice company up here for Just1. Belgrade quarters there. We got machine guns on the way there for Ciperdias. To any assault rifles, 9. No any Panzerschrecks, nothing like that. American counterattack following up here in the wake of Fatalthoughts assault here. Mortar fire there raining out. 2 3-inch mortars hammering away. Section sending out sappers, more section. Vickers hanging back here, trying to avoid the MG. Interesting enough, he's not trying to mortar that one. And we got a half-track there for just one. The magical question is, will he go for the flamethrower upgrade? Will he just use sort of actually play mechanized infantry? Nope, he's going for the flamethrower upgrade. In this case, obviously, there's a pretty big mortar emplacement shape recent for going for the flamethrower upgrade here. Do we have any upgrades here for any anti-tank? None, in fact. There, bbwolf's got the captain there with a bazooka. The bazooka of freedom. It fires liberty at the enemy. Explosive liberty. Heat liberty. Yeah. Mechanized, or battle group headquarters there, going with the medics up there. Gonna just bring up to support the half-track. 6 pound, oh, not 6 pound. Technically, it's a 6 pounder gun. It's just the Americans gave it another name, but it's basically just the 6 pounder gun, which the Americans got a license to produce from the British because they very quickly found out they had no anti-tank gun within that range there. Wanted to sort of actually, you know, began fighting the Germans to realise their own 32mm gun was pretty much useless. So rather than just trying to come up with their own design, they asked the British, and that is the M1 there gun, basically. Little fun fact there, little fun fact. We're going to do the Flampanzerbank support here. Sweeping away the Tommies, the British, the Inselhafen. Again, Fatalthoughts here has absolutely no defences versus just one's assault here. The Flampanzerwagen leading the way.
Emplacement under attack.
Sections there being caught in a lot of stuff here. Almost wiping that. Stillpass going up against the mortar, but a lot too many Americans here. Folks out there. Need to spread out. Spread out. Spread out in Deckung, Männer. They're going to send a grenade off, but still, they're out in the bloody open. Bunched up in front of a mortar. Clearly not the brightest idea here by Ciperdias. And even with assault rifles, the assaults are going to be not very much in favour of the Germans. Meanwhile, though, mortar emplacement cooked up. Light infantry gun there on the way for Ciperdias. A bit of light artillery there. Flamethrower half-track, rather, after further study, I believe, were usually part of a headquarters company, actually. Usually, I think, for the Pentagon, it is actually on the battalion level. But generally, sort of battalion level headquarters or regimental headquarters, usually where they sort of sneak in some extra sort of specialist units rather than forming up a full independent company or battalion. They usually then be part of sort of a headquarters company to provide assistance wherever needed. For example, a Panzer battalion's headquarters unit, for example, would have, say, flamethrower tanks attached to it. Possibly even the regimental one. That way ensuring they always had, you know, a bit of resource they could always call upon. So a little fun fact, their headquarters units were just where the sort of commanding officer, where it was usually also where sort of as additional extra specialists just to sort of give a bit more flexibility there, were at least in the case of the German army. So a little fun fact there for those that did not know. MG34 covering in the south. Troop ceiling reinforcing. Sturm Pioneer sending out. Fresh mortar emplacement here from Fatalthoughts. Right, and the previous one there, right next to a bunch of corpses. Don't mind them, they're just, you know, dead. It's not like they're going to hurt us anyway, so, you know, low our morale. Fighting position going after the American. The Allies overall digging in pretty hard here around the centre. Artillery raining down there, causing a few casualties amongst the Allies. Also got the Granatenwerfer being pulled up here. MG42 moving up. Also a bit of moving north here. We've got Panzer going to leave the Panzerix. Apparently quite worried about enemy vehicles. And the Vickers here firing away. Their rifle grenades going off. Rifle grenades being fired here from the British fighting position. There we go. Grenadiers almost up here by the Vickers. Sabotaging forwards. Panzer Grenadiers still moving about. The MG42 sending up support in the stuff. We got really nothing happening. It's all focused on the centre right now. Very, very focused. Artillery flying all over the place. Bits and pieces. No upgrade there. No tech up. No nothing further there from Fatalthoughts. As for the American player, we got nothing further. He could in theory call up a Stuart light tank, but so far seems quite disinterested in that. We got the flamethrower half-tank charging in here for the centre. Probably should try to get to the sort of deeper flank through here. Get behind the Allied lines. Maybe being sort of spotted here by the infantry. That way avoiding sort of direct confrontation with any anti-tank guns, because at this point they should be expecting anti-tank guns to await any flamethrower half-track. No tech up there. Nothing beyond that further for just one for Ciperdias, who could easily take up now for Schwerpanzer quarters. Nothing there either. We got Kedmev hiding out here in a bunker. Sturm Pioneers moving up, coming under fire from the sections. And there you go. He does flank about. He does flank about using the flamethrower half-track. Good work. Good work, engaging the flame for half to. Oh, charges in, no, charges in. Too far here. He should have been a bit more cautious. They're a bit more. He could in fact use infantry awareness to use further spot ahead there. It also in fact displays anti-tank guns on the mini-map, so he could have utilised that for much greater effect and probably awarded the death of his flame for a half-track. So that could have gone better there for just one. That could have gone a lot better. MB4 to their grounding points to the south. MB4 34 doing nothing. But they should overall not try and barge straight into the Allied positions. They should try and attack it either from here, the north, or from the south. Basically overall trying to outmaneuver, but of course with the sheer density of the blobs here as well, it's going to be a bit tricky. And of course another option might be to try and play around it. For example, just take the northern path and attack the Allied bases directly. That way forcing them to disperse their troops. That is also an option. Back and forth shooting here. Mortar firing down the Fatalthoughts. We got overall 3 Allied mortars, 1 American, 2 British. Artillery fire raining down there from the Germans. They only got 2 artillery pieces here. G43s, we got lightning roll there. First auction, 11 minutes or so there for just 1. Flanking the Vickers there with the G43s coming up there from the nearby section. Almost got the Vickers there. More gunneries going ahead. Pushing it away. MB42, they could stand to about a bit there. Rough grenade in section. And still no tech up there. We do have a truck here for Ciperdias. We got a doctor there for bbwolf. It is a rifle company. Rifle company in a surprise move there. But not too surprising. It's just rarely seen at the moment. Rifle company nonetheless is going there, so we could expect some EC8s. And Fatalthoughts has rushed straight for a Centaur. This is going to be very unpleasant here for the German infantry in particular, since just one's only got a few Panzerschrecks, and well, there's only a Rankenmeff and a Panzerschreck here for Ciperdias. So in theory, a well-handled Centaur could end up doing a lot of damage there to the Germans. A lot. Push for the Centaur again, then no real attempt at outmaneuvering from Ciperdias really here versus bbwolf. Discharges straight into a lot of heavy fire there. Overall, Ciperdias could do with adjusting his assault tactics. Meanwhile, just one, I think, is making better use here of his Panzer Gunner D and other bits there. Going straight here for the final position. In fact, could, of course, I mean, there's a small potential here that what Ciperdias is doing is just a diversion to keep the American player occupied while they go for the mortar emplacement. In fact, it looks like, oh, they're braced, but a bit too late. Centaur moving up there. The Centaur A tank is basically using, well, the A Centaur tank, which is a predecessor to the Cromwell, but the trade is actually from the Crusader anti-aircraft tank. Little fun fact there. But the British overall had a lot of tank designs they never utilised sort of directly, but then used sort of other variants, or used the older variants or sort of other stuff. Mortar emplacement down, for example, like the Centaur, but also the self-propelled artillery utilised some other bits there. For example, the Canadians made sort of an attempt at their own medium tank. Never really saw action, but sort of bits of it, for example, saw usage as self-propelled artillery like the Sexton. Pioneers, they're wiped by the Centaur. The Centaur is very good at wiping units. Very, very good at it. I mean, it's a very, very good anti-infantry tank. Much better than the Ostwind, and they roughly cost the same, except the Centaurs are overall cheaper to get to in the first place. There's been caught in there getting absolutely mauled out in the open air by the Centaur and its twin Polston anti-aircraft guns. I think it's Polston. They had so many anti-aircraft guns as well on that caliber there, so it's a bit hard to say or remember. Troops pushing all here. We got a forward retreat point here for bbwolf. Incendiary grenade against the horde of riflemen, but no real support fire here. I mean, had he had an MD-34 supporting the infantry assault here, he might be able to do better. In the north, Centaur here continues rampage. Almost wiping out the MD-42 there. Can he get it? And there we go. Wiped. Good job, chaps. We just completely annihilated them. Look, there's blood everywhere. I feel like some tea and biscuits is right about now. Folks down the run. The Centaur's basically unhinged, just one's positions completely. I'm surprised more Allied players overall don't use the Centaur because it's really good versus infantry. White phosphorus here, called down to block the Germans from moving up for here. Interesting move there, but it works. And there goes Centaur moving in. Might get a few more kills in the retreat.
One extra soldier can be added to infantry squads.
Still on Pioneers suffering a loss. Might suffer another loss at this rate. But we got a Panther 4 out here for Ciperdias. Actually got some armor out first for just one. He's moved straight on for tier 4. Bold move here, as always. But he's going to have to build that heavy Panther squad very soon then, because they're soon going to get buried here beneath the now like tide of armor, I fear. I mean, bbwolf is slowly closing in on the EC8 and Fatalthoughts, so it's going to be some time for him to bring out some more armor. Though the fuel caches here now being built by the Allies will mean that's going to happen sooner rather than later. In the meanwhile, Ciperdias is actually bringing up another light infantry gun. Here's John Pioneer, or Panzer Grenadier pushing forwards here, wiping out the Vickers, but there he goes, sent out to the rescue, immediately sniped poor Ludwig. Well, he helps to his sniping there. Closing in and venturing to one already. North airport's been grabbed. Allied offensive here continues in the centre. Pack 40 firing pretty pointlessly there. We got an MB42 there. Problem is we already got smoke grenades there for bbwolf, and he's quickly just rushing it. Got a bit of harassment from the northern fuel point though. That works a bit, but of course with the fuel caches, the infected mechanisms will be less, and of course bbwolf could easily build a bunch more. In fact, probably should consider it overall there. Fighting here in the centre has boiled down. It's now they push harder for the north here to regain that, which was lost to the Huns, the Jerrys. Panther 4 sets out again here. Immediately engaging an infantry section there with its machine gun and main guns in the running there. And to tank it up the Panther 4 here. Bazookas flying at the Panther 4 as well. Pioneers on the way there for just one, having lost the previous squad. We got a EC8 there on the way for bbwolf. And we got another fuel cache as well here, ensuring the Allies will soon be able to outdo the Germans in fuel. That's going to be a real nightmare here for the Germans. Captured though, forgotten here by bbwolf and wiped. Small victory for the German army here at the Panzer Division von Clausewitz. Grenadiers moving up, engaging the riflemen. Centaur roaming about like a murderous sentinel, and there we go, catches the Grenadiers here, immediately wiping one, taking the rest of the squad down to half health in a matter of seconds. In the city, I don't know what the False Grenadiers are doing, but it's clearly suicidal, and there we go, we got a quick retreat there from Ciperdias before he went to the unit. Panther 4 good to go again. Centaur here catching a Grenadier squad again, sending it running. And there you go, first EC8 out there for bbwolf and the 2nd Armoured Division. Panther 4 here under fire in the centre as it pushes back the Americans from the victory point. These attempts, and there you go, EC8 rushing for the southern fuel and victory point when MB34 is dying again. And forgotten here by Ciperdias. 50 caliber almost on the EC8. We got another 6-pounder gun here for bbwolf, leaving nothing to chance. He brings up more anti-tank, even as he brings up the tanks too. There you go, MB34 taking hits. Light covering this now, saves it a bit, but up close it doesn't really matter. And the Crackshot and the 50 caliber machine gun just tears through the crew in a matter of seconds. Can they make it out of there?
AT gun ready.
Barely. At the same time, we got a sniper out here for Fatalthoughts as well. Centaur 12 kills, veterans 1. We're going to need some repairs. 6-pounder gun with infantry support here. And we got bolted sections here for Fatalthoughts. Also, a ton of munitions. Get some weapon racks up, mate. Get some weapon racks. So a snot ton of mines down. Mortars there firing. Troops being suppressed. Murdered here. Light infantry guns bombarding. Ciperdias here providing a bit of overall light artillery bombardment with his light infantry guns. We got orbital darting out here for Ciperdias. Will he go for spade guns to get them in for that Sturmgewehr? So what will he go for? We shall find out. We shall find out. In the north, Pack 4 coming up there to support the Panzer Grenadier. Then we've got a sniper here hiding out. He could actually try and call in some artillery there if he wanted to. Centaur going to finally get fixed here. E6 moving up. We've got a Crom on the way there for bbwolf. Foxtrot's push back. Panther 4 closing in. I mentioned 1. We got the heavy Panther squad. We got Panthers on the way there for just 1. Rockets flying, grenades going off. Grenadiers charging 40. Sniper needs to become there. You go, caught out in the open. Will he focus him down? Will he focus him down? Ah, looks like he's not paying attention. Missed opportunity, I think, to get a really good wipe down the sniper by just 1. Or does he get him still? Ah, not there. No, could have tried popping tactical movement to keep up with him, but he just sights against it. Panther almost done. Panther going to be moving up. Pack 4 needs to keep supporting as well, otherwise the Centaur could very quickly make short work of them. If he's not careful, a quick, for example, strafing fire can do a lot of damage very quickly. Germans overall here, the Panzer Division from Clausewitz has stalled. We got lightning machine guns in the Obersoldaten. We got the Cromwell out here for Fatalthoughts, who still is floating a ludicrous amount of munitions. Veterans defending the Panzer Gunner dealer, but they're quickly shredded here by the Centaur. Down to 2 men low on health. Pack 45s, and the Centaur does get knocked out here. Fatalthoughts, in this case, lost it out. Which is why he probably hung about those Panzer Gunners. He was basically using the bait. Centaur completely wrecked. Panther moves out. Cromwell nearby. And pinball machine going up here for the Panzer IV as well. Panther. And we got field recovery operation. He's actually gone here for tactical support. Groovy. Firefly supporting infantry in the centre. Riflemen swarming forwards there into German fire. Panzer IV full to Steel Pioneers trying to hold up the assault. Incendiary grenade here would be nice. Obersoldaten are nowhere near to be seen there in the south here. We got a Kedmeth creeping northwards. Mortify there raining down on the Krauts. Anti-Tank there gains 22 and keeps blasting away at the frontal line with the Panzer IV. In the north, Panther with supporting the infantry there, making good progress versus British lines. Unit wiped out there. bbwolf suffered a loss for freedom, America, liberty, corporate interests. Panzer going to be moving forwards once more for Deutschland. Will just one now go for another Panther, or will he aim for, say, a Sturmpanzer or maybe a Panzerwerfer? All are valid options here, I think. In north, the British push there for the fuel point, and we got, he's actually going to use the salvage ability there, which is actually a very potent version, which gets both fuel and manpower there from wreckage, depending on how much health they actually got the wreck. So, good move there. So many players actually ignore that ability, but clearly, Fatalthoughts is a sharper British player than most. Of course, we'll have to see how sharp in the longer run. Panther then gets here with the Cromwell. It does mean overall the Allies will have a resource run. But there you go, the Luftwaffe called in here by just one. Kanonenvogel calling in here. Cromwell's going to get caught here. The Luftwaffe strikes. Doesn't really hit. Almost got the Cromwell there. Panther pulled back here by 6-pounder guns and other bits. There's snipers as well. Snipers taking losses. EC8 here taking hit. Panther 4 moving in for the kill. Panther 6 and Panther fast going forwards. Folks here moving in, getting pushed back though. Where are the Obersoldaten? Ciperdias? Oh, they've been pushed back already. And we got, artillery cover called down here by Fatalthoughts. That might be why I saved up so much munitions, because it's an expensive ability, by the way. Very expensive. It also covers up, in this case, the EC8. It's a really potent ability, basically. But again, expensive, so that might be why he saved up all these munitions, in which case that's understandable. Sniper, they're getting killed on the advancing Grenadiers. Central victory point still being contested here, even if anything going on. There we go, artillery cover rains down, followed up with white phosphorus. A decisive Allied push clearly is going on here, with this much artillery cover just being provided here for this assault. Mechanized regiment going up there for Ciperdias. Might be to repair, he might of course be planning a King Tiger. Panther pulled back here for repairs, and we got a Firefly there on the way for Fatalthoughts, also known as the Sherman VC. Actually, I think Firefly wasn't that common a name. Panzer was in trouble here with these here. We got more artillery cover running down here, but that's hoped to support the Panzer Grenadier. In fact, they couldn't get wiped there. Smoke called down here on the Sherman, of course. Again, it basically calls it down on any damaged vehicle, friendly that is, within line of basically here. So yeah, pretty neat ability. Sturmpanzer on the way there for just one, to try and blast his way through Allied lines. Artillery raining down there on the sappers. And we got the Firefly here with the officer on the way soon there. In the centre, Obersoldaten and other infantry pushing forwards. Panzer IV veterans, is he good to go for another push? bbwolf could easily kill a lot more Sherman EC8s here, by the way. Pulling back here in the face of this German infantry assault across the hill. And what's this? Another white phosphorus barrel to sort of block off the assault. Good work there, a bit expensive, but I guess the trick here, since bbwolf have nothing else to stop them with. Steel Empire supporting the Panzer IV here's assault. And we got a bit of movement here in the north from just one, but there you go. Cromwell Firefly getting the Panther IV, taking down to less than half health in 2 shots. Ciperdias still getting a few hits on the Cromwell. Snipers hang about. Sappers being pushed back here. Ciperdias moving up. Panther still being fixed up here. Could consider up. Oh, mechanized 50 is upgraded, so we could try saying, oh, the Panther to sort of speed up the repairs a bit. Sniper center running. Sappers, 6-pounder gun, and Cromwell back here against the Grenadiers. In the centre, Ciperdias being the forward. Concussive grenade here would help out. But none of that, and the Allies should also consider pushing through the south. I mean, they're just sort of bashing head on. There's limited flanking, shall we say, there from bbwolf and Fatalthoughts versus the Germans. The Ciperdias there rolling ahead. Shoots and dramatically misses. No specialization here chosen by Fatalthoughts. Now got 2 EC8s working together here. One veteran to one, actually closer to the other, well, not so much. Adding the 50 caliber there. Booby traps on the centre of victory point, nice work. Fancy moving into the south there. Orbs on here, caught by double EC8s, a Kedman flying weight, getting veterans one. Obzard can barely make it. Ema continues assault in the north as Just One makes another push for the fatherland. 6-pounder gun, Cromwell, Firefly, and a lot of Sapper sections being forward here with sniper support as well. But AC Assault to make that counter attack, and he's almost got artillery cover ready to go again versus Harry Hun there. Panther turning its turret. A few hits, artillery raining down. Ciperdias not really getting any hits so far, all taking quite a bit of damage. Pulls back here, Panther going to do carrying up the retreat here. Panther 4 moving forward and into the 6-pounder guns galore of M1s, and the Firefly head gaining veterans 1 already. German assault into the north, quite blundered. Panther moving south, let's say, to push back the EC8's a bit risky there on his own, to be honest. Panther 4 pulling back for repairs. Just One trying to establish a defensive position around the farmhouse there. And artillery raining down the Ciperdias touching forward. Catching the anti-tank and stand there we go. Concussive grenade after them. Takes that, you Scheißhunde. And veterans before they almost got the Propagandacaster crew. Well, M1, but never mind. And we got artillery cover now raining down. I think that's a bit late there, too early, depending how long it from Fatalthoughts. Ultimately doesn't end up doing much. You need line of sight, otherwise it's not quite as useful. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of units here, for example, that could be done a bit more with, but so far nothing there. Oh, Panther was suppressed by the tactical button. There we go, moving up with another Centaur, catching the units in negative cover as well. Ooh, it's going up rather poorly there for Just One. Ciperdias has a good risk getting hit there as well, with a more few hits there. Tanks moving up, that Centaur needs to pull back. Artillery raining down against them. Ciperdias pushed back. Firefly hit a mine, no. Good hit. Got the main gun destroyed. Smoke covering down on the Panther, allowing it to get close up at the same time. 6-pounder gun sending up here. Panther 4 there, can't fire. Centaur quickly knocked out in this case. Pushed it too far ahead without support. Rock moving up with an anti-tank rocket there against the Panther. Good work. Complete chaos here. EC8 rolling in for the kill. Including a Veterans 2-1, taking advantage of the Veterans 1 bonus for an increased rate of fire. But holded by brave pack crew. And we got a command Panther out here now for Ciperdias, who's finally gone for tactical support for Just One. He could easily go for a Panther next. He could also go for another Ciperdias, but I think Panther makes more sense. He could also aim for the Tiger. But the thing is, then he's going to have like 3 different kinds of sort of heavy vehicles, at least the Panther and the Tiger. And the problem is they don't necessarily work on the same level. Whereas if you had 2 Panthers, A, he would get out of Panther sooner, but he could also work them better together. Well, we'll see what happens here. More EC8s on the way there for bbwolf, for freedom. Another Centaur there for Fatalthoughts. Guess it's already salvaged the one there. We got wrecked. Oh, wait. No longer sign of the wreck. Panther 4 moving into the south. Now can push back from there. 6-pounder gun over there. The Ciperdias kind of disadvantaging until hitting there against the Sapper's house. Firefly moves up halfway to victory 2. Need to pull back the Ciperdias. Now the EC8 arriving there. Here, Panther 4 and Sherman engaging the EC8s. Shots penetrating there. Panther fast going off. Panther 4 could stand to move a bit closer there. Going up. Oh, almost got the crew there. Almost got the crew. That would have been quite impressive. They appears to be able to wipe the German crew there and preventing them from getting back into the tank. 6 Panther guns end of heavy artillery fire. Germany to pushing forward, supported by the Panther veterans who want German Panther back for repairs. 6 Panther gun fire floating up the advancing Panther there. Shots bouncing off. Grenadiers are going in, and we got more artillery flares. And we got white phosphorus called down here. Trying to hold up the German infantry centre moving up there. 6 Panther gun Grenadiers caught in it. Oh, the Grenadiers going to get wiped here. Cromwell charges through the white phosphorus. Panther there. Veterans E2. Firefly. Dangerous work. They're dangerous work. High rate of fire. Panther almost knocked out. Needs a blitz. Get out of there, Ludwig. Get out of there. Damage into the Cromwell centre moving up. Grenadiers getting shredded. Fireflies moving up here. 6 Panther gun considered provide support. Mortar as well. Stuff flying over. There we go. We got the Luftwaffe going in. Wipes out anti-tank crew, but they're going immediately shot down by the centre. Which is very good at shooting down aircraft, by the way. ECH charging forward here. Armoured assault. One tank here. Stand out a bit. Stand out a bit there, but manages to pull back nonetheless. Machine gun there needs to evacuate before it gets knocked out. Can the Centaur get the final Stuka? There we go. Knocked out of the skies. Allies are losing ground to the Germans, but they're also inflicting quite a few casualties, I think, on the Germans as well. Vetchi 2 Firefly, Vetchi 2 Cromwell, and for the Americans, Vetchi 2 Sherman, they're close to Veterans 3 actually. A lot of artillery flying all over the place here. Veterans 3 and 1 light infantry gun. Panther 4 close to Veterans 3 as well. There we go, in fact, hits Veterans 3. And he does go for a Tiger here, just one. A Tiger to support his Panther and German Panther to work with them. Mortar caught with the Panther 4, taking advantage of the, well, not really much of a commander or so far. It's only that I think eventually 2 gets an accuracy bonus, which is what the Panther 4 would really benefit from then. Oh, section wiped as it exits the building from the wrong door, and house collapses almost their next hit. Veterans on for the Sturm Panther Tiger here. Panther is not joining in yet. This is getting quite intense.
Infantry squad trained and ready to go. Standing by.
Bit of movement in the south here. Wrecking the house. German Panther leading the way. Probably not the unit that should be leading the way. You got more artillery flares there from Ciperdias. Anti-tank is firing there. Panther 4 needs to fall back. And we got artillery support called down here. Oh no, they're going to attack straight into an artillery support zone. Panther 4 is suffering a wounded gunner. Increasing reload time. There you go. Panther 4 down in the matter of tank. Seconds here. ECH with veterans 1 supported by the tanks to get a rate of fire boost. Veterans 3 they gain. Veterans 3. Really nasty now. Very high rate of fire. But they're almost knocked out here by the Panthers and everything else need to pull back. Oh dear. Knocked out here by Grenadiers flanking with the and Panther 6. Tanks knocked out here. Smoke going down. Complete chaos. Pandemonium. Panther. Tiger getting hit but now getting flanked by allied armour. Tiger gets knocked out by the Firefly. Panther also in trouble here. Overall, not the most electric armor assault. Need to fall back. Just one Rückzug. Break off the assault. Panther exposing its rear armor. Not good. Getting constantly hit there by artillery fire. Panther going to trying to support. And there you go. Firefly gets another hit. Almost Veterans 3. Blitz. Too late. Panther down. Command Panther moving up here. Firefly very close to Veterans 3 now. Very bad news for the Germans. Hits. And there we go. Veterans 3. Christ! What an absolute maddening fight here. ECH moving ahead here, taking hits from the Sturm Pioneers Panther 6. In that sense, the assault actually here, the armoured assault, did neglect one thing. There wasn't any infantry support, which made it easy for the German assault then, German defence then focus on the tanks. Because they'd just be focused on the German tanks allowing the anti-tank infantry to deal with them. So, yeah. Bit of a mistake there by Fatalthoughts and bbwolf, though bbwolf I think suffered the most there. He lost a lot of Shermans and he lost a Veteran 3 Sherman. That's going to hurt. I mean, they're not not heavy tank, though of course they can, so got more damage than say a Cromwell or a regular Sherman, but still would have benefited more if they tried to flank in. But overall, that was just complete, utter chaos. And of course, with the fuel cache, they can replace armament losses faster for the most part than the Germans. Plus that Veteran 3 Firefly, that is bad news. A Veteran 3 actually gains higher damage per shot, meaning overall a Veteran 3 Firefly shoots, well, Currently faster than the Panther and does a lot more damage per shot than the Panther. I mean, that's pretty much is a nightmare for any tank, in particular heavy armor. Jump Hunt's moving up the half edge eventually to the only bit of armor that survived there for just one. MB42 falling back, choose that. Was trying to sabotage the Panther. Good work there by Fatalthoughts. Crushing the wreckage just to prevent it from happening. Anvil tactics shows near by Fatalthoughts. Another easy hit there for bbwolf. Not a lot of movement in the top. We've still got a bit of light harassment there from the allies. Bit of light harassment there. Centaurs are boarding. Easy hit, they're getting met with a wave of rockets. Just one there cleared guess, but as it sort of just turned to full Panther Shrek holds there. A few Vickers then for Fatalthoughts and bbwolf getting a 50 cover, so could easily do a lot there. But there you go, Vickers in American hands. Push back there, the Panther going to deal it. Command Panther halfway to we got a Churchill tank on the way for him. And a King Tiger up here for Ciperdias. Panther therefore for just one. Interesting decision there. Six pound and gun Centaur there, 11 kills. Panther moving forward straight into there, the Centaur. Coming under fire from a lot of tanks.
Artillery ready to support our vehicles.
I should have rushed the Sabs against them instead of a way towards support of Cromwell there, which is why they eventually defeat. Oh, almost got them wiped. They almost got them wiped. King Tiger moving forward there for Deutschland. The Tiger B. Panther flying away there, advancing sappers, and sent Churchill almost down there for Fatalthoughts. What an absolute crazy fight there. We got another tactical artillery support there to recover. Called down by him. Feels a bit too early there, but at least he's pushing forward with it. Though, again, not enough infantry for Fatalthoughts to really push forwards with. He needs to be careful with that.
We have 200 points now.
And the South Rifleman there versus Panzer Orbis on the here with infrared Sturmgewehrs. Troops moving about. We got the Vickers sitting up there in the centre victory point, or northern victory point, not centre. Bit of crowd here between the two sides. A lot of armour on both sides. And there you go. Churchill tank out here for Fatalthoughts. Would have figured perhaps, comets instead, maybe some emergency war speed. But it's clear aiming here for the Churchill tanks. And considering the tactics they're going for, which is sort of much more head-on, right for enemy lines, the Churchill does make more sense thanks to its high armour, but also high health. They still need to be careful with it. There it goes straight to the King Tiger Command Panther. There you go. Unit's going to hit there by artillery cover. And the tank gun's firing. Where's the Firefly? Get it in there. Sends a Grenadiers and other bits there. Churchill taking quite a bit of damage. Still gets out of there. Mostly one piece. Smoking up. Here's the push for the centre victory point as well. King Tiger falling back. Panther F has fired, but not really done much there. Jump up moving hit. They're going for some hits against the Allies. Close to eventually two there. Sabs advancing. German advancing in the north from just one. Tech's been caught in a lot of fire. Needs to be careful, needs to be careful. And he's popping a Mills bomb there against the Pack 40. Almost wiping in the north here. Machine gun getting shredded here for Centaur. There you go, a lot of Panther going down. And we got the Luftwaffe called in to deal with it. Luftwaffe almost fitted you on that Centaur. Panther Grenadier continuing. And we got this Churchill nearby. Could hold them. Veteran 2 they gained. Veteran 2. You need to keep pulling back though. Flares cold down. There you go. Most of the Panzers failed to penetrate the front armour of the Churchill.
One of our anti-tank guns is gone.
Anti-tank gun cleared out. King Tiger, Panther moving ahead. Command Panther closing on the T2. Churchill falling back here. And we got White first called down the centre victory point. We got EC8 pushing through around Northern victory point, centre victory point here with the 2 EC8s engaging the machine gun there. Artillery raining down all the place. Beyond Panzer eventually too. Northern assault continues here. Panthers are finally broken off. And with that, the Panther and the King Tiger also falls back here. Ciperdias is not feeling like pushing his luck onwards. Veteran 3 anti-tank gun being dealt with here. Rather unfortunately there by bbwolf. Could have been very useful in the longer run.
Just took out an entire gun crew.
bbwolf could easily go for another EC8. He's got the fuel, he's got the manpower. Large armoured force up here in dire repairs. He's got the sappers. Just need to get them there. He could consider upgrading maybe these one with the heavy engineer upgrade to further speed up the repair ability. Strengthening of your Panther King Tiger thinks towards the central victory point there. Southern one has been completely forgotten here for the most part. Lieutenant Air suffering heavy damage from the German armour. Still on Panther moving on support. And we got Fatalthoughts and Oberstadt blasting forwards for the fatherland. Los, before the Americans come back with all of their artillery. Schnell! Jackson with the bbwolf, not a bad idea. And we got, what is this? More field recovery operation going on there. More stuff to salvage. Though technically he doesn't actually get a sort of discount for if he does it like, you know, just in these numbers. Unless of course you count in the minesweeper, in which case there's a theory of a discount there. John Bunter rushing forwards there, fires away, murders away. King Tiger taking hits, the EC8 moving up, need to be careful, need to try and flank up out there with the EC8s. John Bunter probably caught by that man to tank as he wants to. Takes hit there for the Firefly, bounces this shot though, pretty lucky there. In the south, Orbs have been caught here by double EC8 being pushed away. Sherman's rolling forwards. A wave of death. 6 pounder gun here caught. Oh, 6 pounder M1 though. Eventually flee as well. 24 kills there. We got artillery cover called down here again by Fatalthoughts. Looks like he's ready to take advantage of it. Infantry supporting the Churchill, but Cromwell and Centaur moving in from the north. Firefly supporting from the south. Going for the center of the body, but keeps the pressure. Need to pull back here, the Cromwell before it gets knocked out. Anti-tank gun there was also then there go gets it. Need to pull back the Centaur before it's too late. 20 kills there, takes a heavy hit. Oh, he's going to lose it. We got artillery down there around the pack, following the Panther. Churchill moving ahead, but there goes Centaur down. That could have been done better there by the Fatalthoughts. More artillery raining down there. Smoke called down to cover up Churchill. Firefly advancing through the centre there. Oh, EC8 I mean through the centre versus Foxconn is there. Artillery raining down on them, suppressing them. A lot of artillery raining down there.
Krauts are taking one of our points.
And all the soldaten wiped out there, annihilated. Grenadiers suffering by the northern victory point. But overall, Fatalthoughts armoured assault there has been called up off. With quite a few casualties there. EC8 moving up support there by the looks of it. Got the 2 southern victory points there. Well, centre and southern one. This map layers of the victory point confuses me clearly. Panther on the way here for just one. Ciperdias going now for Jagd Panzer. And we got another EC8 there for bbwolf, 2 EC8s and a Jackson.
Looks like we're getting into the excitement.
Both of them at least veterans 1, meaning they do get the veteran to 1 accurate range of fire boost.
A capture point is under attack. King Tiger ready.
Heavy casualties on both sides here, just an idea of it. Quite a bit of damage down there though. Just one is unsurprisingly the ones that are doing the most there. You saw them the ones that are actually trying to flank the most and actually sort of reasonably trying to outmaneuver his opponent there, so comparatively it does make sense. White Frost was called down there, putting away the orbital Darden in a cloud of deadly smoke. Jagd Panzer almost down, and there we go. That's the Panther there for just one. Jagd Panzer is... oh, he's at full... no, he is... yes, he just is enough to not get it, it would seem. Churchill advancing in veterans who want. Saps moving from the north, going to try and salvage things here under the inertia of the enemy, get for more manpower and fuel. Good work there, good work there. Nope, no grenades there. Grab the machine gun under fire. King Tiger moves ahead, they're supported by the Command Panther in the centre. Nothing there either. Jump Panther moving northwards. Veteran the 300 tank and they're firing at the King Tiger, getting some more penetrating hits there. Jackson supporting as well. Easy hit moving, Firefly moving up, there we go, good hits there on the King Tiger. Almost got it, Panther fires. Where though? Looks like here north against British assault there. Jack pushed back. Command Panther thinking about the veterans too. Yak Panther still nowhere near being close. They're done for Ciperdias. Another Churchill tank. 4 fatal thoughts. He's also got a ton of fuel there. Ton of fuel. The flares called down here. Anti-tank and they're hitting. Sappers playing against the Panzer gonna deal it. bbwolf's armoured formation has lost 1 tank there. Looks like it's veterans. He 1 Sherman. And there you go. Jackson tough quite a bit of hits to the Panzer gonna deal. And Pioneers here with Panzer Rex.
Just lost a medium tank.
Before repulsing them. Panther rushing towards the northern victory point. We got still. Oh, there we go. Calls it up. Now it's suffered enough loss here to call up the Jagd Panzer. Additional tanks are here till it just continues to fly all over the place. You got a veteran 4 infantry gun here and soon veteran 5. But there's a Post Panther also providing limited support though. Not large with infantry, doesn't have machine guns, so can't do much there. Though with the Command Panther nearby, he should actually be able to get a pretty decent output there of damage, particularly with the machine gun on top of his infantry. John Panther pushing forward again, half H veteran 3. Yak Panther is finally on the field as well. There we go, second Churchill tank for fatal thoughts. Second Churchill tank. Big 50 caliber under fire there. Easy hit again there. Under fire from the Yak Panther and the Command Panther. Down to less than half health there. Bad news there for bbwolf's armoured assault. Again, there's not really much attempt at flanking through. I mean, say attack through and then getting in, hitting here, for example. They could easily do a lot of that versus the Germans. They just keep pushing forwards instead. Armoured assault. He's basically using the Churchill as a magnet of fire, drawing out the enemy tanks and using the Firefly to shoot back. Armoured spearhead here attacking. By the looks of it for Ciperdias, 1 King Tiger, 1 Panther, 1 Yak Panther pulled back. And what is going on here with just 1? Who knows? Got the southern points once more for the fatherland. British sort of troops moving, or Allied troops moving about. Their British troops are, well, quite extended at this point, I think. Still a machine gun on that Panther, really consider. Well, close quarters barrels here from the Panther. Have you got artillery cover called in here? Getting in for another cover. Oh, catching the jumps in a huge cluster. Right on the Panther there for Grenadiers. And then following up with an armoured assault here, disrupting just 1's positions. They're going to fire. Yak Panther getting veteran 1, false almost wiped out. Yak Panther got hit, their gunner's injured. Firefly, Churchill's moving ahead here. He could probably actually go for another Firefly here. To be honest, the meanwhile, southern assault holding by the King Tiger. We got Luftwaffe support called in here. No Centaur this time around, so no air cover there. Smoke screen. Artillery raining down, Firefly setting up. Oh, not Firefly, EC8s, damn it. EC8s. And we got another Firefly there for fatal thoughts. Few hits there, the best they can offer is basically their 50 calibers there, which were, by the way, mounting that precision power to help versus aircraft. Little fun fact there. Panther, King Tiger move out here, half H of it to 3, half H of it to 2. And North Panther advances spot on its own there, bit risky. See if there's eventually 3 Firefly, which will do a lot more damage than the Panther. Oh, lucky they didn't penetrate, they're very lucky there for just 1's Panther.
An infantry section of Tommies has been trained.
More sections there for failed thoughts. EC8 pushing in for the south again. And there you go, Yak Panther gets a kill, supporting in the King Tiger and the Panther very close. Vet 72 there for the King Tiger, in fact. Yak Panther closing on Vet 72. Panther firing the machine guns against the Raven in the south, guy into tank guns firing. Vet 73. Penetrating hit there. Could use Tay game there for increased line of sight and range. Does not. Still Panther moving in there. Looks like Fatalthoughts is buying time. Oh, he's got too much troops there to get out the second fire flat. Bit unfortunate for him. Orbs getting hit there by their own artillery as well. Pioneers have a double Panther Rex, good lord. Improvised Panzer Jaeger team. And there we go, second Firefly finally arrives there for Fatalthoughts. Bit surprised he has to try getting the tulips, but again, if he's so focusing all his munitions on artillery cover, it does make sense. Panzer barrage there. Hasn't really done a lot of damage as of yet with it, just 4 kills. Double Churchill attack supported by double Firefly, at least once the other Firefly gets there. Pretty aggressive move there, anti-tank and firing. In fact, we got 2 anti-tank against plus Pioneers, the Panther Rex and the Panther. Tank there stunned. Yak Panther fires as well here. That did not work out very well then, in this case too much German fire. There you go, Panther moves straight to the Fireflies. Quickly down to less than half here. Yeah. Quickly down. Churchill almost knocked down. Got lucky then, that shot bounced off the frontal armour. Command Panther, Yak Panther here. EC8 sneaking about. Another Jackson there for him. Anti-tank needs to use armour-piercing rounds and take aim in here. Panther continues to support halfway to Veteran D3. And Sturm Panther is shooting away, bombarding the infantry sections there. Getting a few kills there. Crazy fighting here. EC8 taking a few hits. Panther going to be getting shot by the Churchill, which is now Veteran D2. Trying to get those Fireflies, but the Veteran D3 one, the most important one, gets away. Oh dear.
One of our squads. Infantry squad trained and ready to
In
go.
a wipe, that looks like the Sturm Panther got them. 36 kills for the fatherland, very close to Veteran D3. King Tiger super close to Veteran D2. Panther not really closer to Veteran D3, then the Yak Panther is also super close to Veteran D2 itself. Allies there got a lot of fuel. I mean, they got so much fuel from the fuel caches, they just can't use it. But again, that does tend to happen when you go for a bunch of fuel caches. You will eventually find yourself just flowing so much fuel because your manpower still that hasn't gone up by a lot. Rifle there annihilated. Huge losses there for the Allies. 2 rifle squads wiped by Panzerwerfer and King Tiger fire. Bad news for bbwolf there. Bad news. Getting a lieutenant there. Almost got enough for another artillery cover there, Mr. Fatalthoughts. Kubelwagen for Ciperdias. Kubelwagen this late into the game. That's not very common. Better join the King Tiger there, good work. Fatalthoughts slightly changing the extra attack rather than into that spot there that's heavily guarded by anti-tank guns. Good central work there. Now sending up for attack on the center. We've got tactical cover raining down there on the King Tiger and the nearby Command Panther if need be. Going to work together with his teammate this time around. Better. Sturm Panther firing away there. 37 kills. There you go. Yak Panther. Veggie 2, but 2 Fireflies against it. EC8's moving in. Jackson as well. They almost got it. Yak Panther down in a matter of seconds. Melted there under heavy, withering anti-tank fire from the Allies. Churchill right in the midst of everything. Getting shot to bits as well by the Pack 40s. Panther Rex moving up as well there. Churchill kaput. Jackson shouting forward to the King Tiger. Trouble there. Anti-tank and firing with armor-piercing rounds. EC8. Jackson's not following up here in the first one. No, that's an EC8 active spring. I thought that was Jackson. Artillery down in the Pantherwerfer. Almost got it. EC8 hitting there. Pantherwerfer down to artillery cover. Sturm Panther down as well. Churchill there firing away. Almost got the King Tiger. Smoke raining down here, covering up the retreat of the armour as well. Good work. Lost the EC8, the 2 anti-tank weapons. Overall, again, not really a lot of infantry support here. No Bren gun, for example, to cover up the assaulting infantry. And he got another Churchill. Phew, talk about intense there, though. But don't forget about the infantry and the anti-tank guns in that sense. You know, Fatalthoughts and bbwolf do lack some bits, and of course, while he's currently consent with artillery cover, he still needs him to properly support his tanks versus other infantry, for example. And for that matter, the anti-tank guns, in particular the free anti-tank gun, will make short work of most armour. Tiger out here by for now for just one. There's something gun wrecked. I guess that's the crew in the south here going down to the Jackson. Massive push here, Brappen getting annihilated. Blend cover on the 50 caliber. Almost got these cavalry sabres here with the Tiger. 3 kills there for Germany. Fireflies moving up and they get to Tiger though. Tiger escapes though. Command Panther very close to Victory 3. King Tiger very slowly moving towards Victory 3, and we actually got to make us on our way there for Final Thoughts. Or Fatalthoughts, not Final Thoughts. And we actually got another Panther on the way there for Ciperdias now. Regular Panther. Replacing the Yak Panzer.
They're at 200 points.
Fireflies mounting in here as the Tiger and quickly taking down several notches then health with a 17 pounder gun. Fireflies falling back here. Crom moving in from the Church moving from the north. Under fire there from the Panther. Church are taking quite a few hits there. Down to less than half health. Pack 40 firing in there. Going through it shortly again. The Veteran T1 in particular has very high penetration rate of fire. And there you go. Pantrix gets the other Churchill. Grenades going off. Smoke going off. If only they had enough BARs, for example, or anything like that, they would have done better here. But again, Fatalthoughts was too focused on the artillery cover. Forgot to bring up any anti-infantry weapons there. Otherwise, they probably done better. But there you go. Panther getting flanked here by the Fireflies. Pack 40 still hit there on the Firefly. The most veteran one, in fact. There we go. Panther could go down in a matter of moments here. Oh dear, might survive, might survive. No! Knocked out there by the veteran 3-1. The crew, tank somehow survives. The crew, though, is quite dead. Firefly almost dead there. Centre, we got 2 Jackson tankers operating here. But again, they're now too focused on the armour, forgetting the infantry. So Command Panther and King Tiger in the centre. Massive armoured force here for Ciperdias. Quite sizable armoured force anyways for a German player. In particular the Oberkommando West. I mean, that is a lot of fuel and manpower in just 3 units. That is a lot of manpower and fuel. Panther here smoking lightly. The only thing Fatalthoughts has got going for him is the Fireflies. He's getting a lot more infantry, but he's still not getting in any weapon racks. He's getting bombarded by Ciperdias armour. Jackson's going up as well. Orbison supporting it from the west south. Closing a victory there for the Command Panther. 43 kills there. The tanks really benefited from the command tanks accuracy bonus there, Veteran 2. Which in the Panther King Tiger 2 needs to be really accurate with its high explosive rounds there. In the south, Kuwan getting caught by another Jackson. Well, another Kuwan getting caught by another Jackson. There we go. No way in hell that survives a direct hit there from the Jackson. Panther there being pulled back. Infantry screening, I suppose, in a sense. We got more artillery flares there from Ciperdias. Orbison down there. 50 caliber rifle fire. King Tiger advances. He could try and flank through the south here with his Panther, sort of hit them from another side. But he's moving the King Tiger ahead there. 50 caliber push back. Need support with the Panthers. And a tank and under fire. Not the veteran defeat Firefly, by the way. No tulips rockets. Panthers quickly pulling back, so is the King Tiger. If he push back with the, I forward with the Panthers soon, I think he'd over push back here the Allies from that hill position.
Our capture point. They're trying to take it.
Quick hit there from the Panther. Very close to Veteran Defeat there, very close. King Tiger advances again. Good hit there. Panther gets it, but doesn't get Veteran Defeat. More Fireflies there for Fatalthoughts. Advancing infantry straight into the line of fire like lambs to the slaughter. Panther still rolling back. Tiger almost finished another Panther effort there for just one. Sappers manning a 50 cal machine gun there, trying to halt the Germans. Pioneers there advancing straight into the Vickers line of fire, getting pinned in a matter of seconds and shredded. More artillery flares. Those light infantry guns are still operating. Although one got wiped out though. One got wiped out. Got a machine gun crew there, the 50 caliber. Another armoured assault here. With his there we go, Veteran Defeat for the Command Panther. Veteran Defeat increases rate of fire as well now. Bad news for the Allies, bad news, but there you go, another artillery cover. German armour falling back here. Tiger, they're also getting hit. Their machine gun firing pack 40 gun and is moving forwards here. Another heavy exchange between the two sides. The Allies still continue the attack, just attacking head on there, though using, of course, artillery abilities to support their advance. Troops are getting annihilated here, but the King Tiger so close to Veteran Defeat. 55 kills. Orbs on there fighting under artillery cover, trying to dodge it. Gabaldi lightning there against the 50 caliber. Thrown too far, getting pinned down here. But 50 caliber ends up being the one retreating. In the north, troops are getting wiped out by combined German efforts. We've got Fireflies moving down here with whatever limited infantry support Fatalthoughts has left. Sectional way there for Fatalthoughts. Jackson hanging back. The Allies seem quite spent here. Flanking there, the Tiger gets a good hit there with the Jackson. We've got the King Tiger nearby. Panther's heading out as well here. All firing at the 50 caliber. Some pretty unwarranted attention there for that machine gun crew. If they could just properly hit there. Light cover there, just obscuring them for long enough there to grab the point and escape. The Allies shown in a perilous state. If we sort of quickly take a look, then kills.
We're losing a capture point.
Roughly 1,000 men there. In fact, close to possibly even 700 men there overall lost. Panzer Shreks there, flank the Jackson, knocking it out there. The lack of infantry against the screen, the tank destroyers and armour is really becoming apparent here. And there you go, position here caught by the armour. Only a single Jackson turret and a 50 caliber, and they're just going to get wrecked here. Jackson gone in a matter of seconds. Infantry there fighting a last desperate stand, 50 caliber down. King Tiger very close, 53 veteran, one for the Panther. So close, 53, there you go, troops retreating. Section in the north, King Tiger turns its turret. Or not. Another cool button there for Ciperdias. 10 kills, 6 kills. Grenades off there. Fireflies advancing straight into the Panzerschrecks. Oh dear. Almost got one Firefly up there. Garmin bringing hit Panther already down to half health there just from 2 shots there from the Fireflies. Less than half health in fact. There you go, another Luftwaffe strike against the Fireflies. Does a bit of damage, but not quite enough. So little left there for Fatalthoughts. bbwolf not much better off there. The Germans in their hand got full infantry and armoured formations there. Whew. Quite a long fight here, over an hour long, which I rarely do because, well, they're usually long, and usually if they do end up going very long, it's usually a sign something went, in most cases, very, very, very wrong rather than something really good. Just a heads up, there won't be casting these kind of long matches very long, and certainly not 2 versus 2 matches. 6-pounder gun moving up, they're getting flanked here by the MB-42, halfway to Veteran Defeat. It rather seems like the Germans have won this one. The Panzer Division von Clausewitz has persevered in the face of the Allies. It was pretty damn close.
They are down to 50 points.
advancing into the white phosphorus of there under the what's here, the Tiger tank. Another armoured push here. Looks like they're going to try and flank behind here for once. Get behind the Allies. Ask what if that's the case. Nope. Blitz is straight for the sort of front. And with that, they surrender. GG, game over. A brutal slaughter here with 2 versus 2. A lot of armoured action, a lot of artillery abilities, a lot of artillery cover. But overall, what the Allies lacked, and what I think should also extend to the Germans lacked, is sort of any serious flanking. I mean, Just One is probably the one sort of closest actually did some flanking versus the Allies, and had quite a bit of effect there. But the Allies just completely barged head on, time and time again. Another failure was not to upgrade the riflemen and infantry sections with Brens and BARs. Had they done that, for example, they'd done a lot better off. I mean, overall, the issue also came down to a bit, what happened to the Soviets whenever they did a lot of their attacks on the Eastern Front. They'd usually send their army in, and the infantry would get divided from it by the Germans, and the tanks would just be dealt with piecemeal with panzer section, whatever. And that's basically what happened here. The tanks rushed ahead, the infantry struggled to keep up, the infantry then was dealt with in one piece, and the tanks was quickly just swarmed and overwhelmed with whatever fire was necessary. So while they would get individual tanks, by the end as the game progressed, Fatalthoughts and bbwolf just lose too much there. And in part because they just kept attacking into where the Germans were thickest, meaning the Germans just keep preparing there and there more and more for an armoured assault, rather than trying to wonder if they're going to attack anywhere else across the map there. So in that sense, 2 predictable attacks there from the Allies, but as the game went on, with not enough sort of tactical sensibility, and certainly no smoke there. I mean, had they just had people laying down smoke screens using a few mortars, they probably could have stood a much better chance. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from it. I hope it gave you a few matches. If you did, subscribe, tell a friend, share it with everyone. If not, send in a replay and some feedback in the comment section. And this is Imperial Linking. Cheers. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you tomorrow for another exciting episode. Bye.